What is up YouTube? This is Alex aka Foreign. Today I'm gonna talk about how I tried to modify my R9 290X Tri-X from Sapphire and what problems I ran into. Here basically I'm trying to tear down the cooler. Nothing too complicated here. The problem I ran into though was that the PCB was stuck to the heatsink, so that I had to use quite a lot of force to tear them apart. There is no inherent problem with the Tri-X cooler per se, but my card did get extremely loud at 70+C, which is a very good temperature for a 290X in general. But I had the idea to try and replace the shroud on the card with some air pressure fans. These would be a higher diameter than the ones used on the Tri-X cooler, and even though smaller, would probably do a better job simply because the default fans were getting fairly old in general. I got this card used from Germany for a decent price at the time and didn't really bother doing anything with it until now. But in the end, I finally managed to separate the radiator from the PCB and the shroud from the radiator. After cleaning the thermal paste, we can behold the true beauty of the Hawaii XT GPU. While performance-wise it's nothing special today, back in October 2013 when this card launched, it was a masterpiece. With immature drivers though, the card wasn't able to show its full potential until after the 300 series refresh in 2015, when the same GPU was powerful enough to compete with Nvidia's newest Maxwell chips and could finally beat its competition at the time, the 780 Ti. But enough about that. What we have here is a beautiful PCB designed by Sapphire to leverage the performance of the Hawaii XT GPU. The card I have is a revised new version of the Tri-X model released after the default one. This one has a better power design and current delivery system. My card still doesn't OC very well though, topping out at around 1175 MHz on the core. What I really love about flagship Sapphire coolers though is their heatsink. The massive base plate has individual protrusions for each of the 16 memory modules of the card. 5 heat pipes are in direct contact with a copper plate, transferring heat from the extremely hot GPU, and a fat fin stack helps more easily dissipate the heat. After reapplying the thermal paste and reattaching the radiator to the PCB, I managed to tie 2 Corsair SP120 fans to the base plate using good old zip ties. The result looked pretty badass in my opinion, but here is where I ran into some problems. Now, the first one is that these fans weren't PWM, which made them run at max speed all the time. I also didn't have an adapter to connect these fans to the PCB of the graphics card. All of this led not only to extreme fan noise, but also coil whine appeared out of nowhere. The card was chirping like birds in early spring and it was pretty much unbearable. In the long run, I will definitely try something similar again, since I know what problems I may run into when undertaking a project like this. For now though, my Sapphire 290X Tri-X is put back together until it either dies or a good enough replacement comes along, which may actually happen pretty soon with Vega launching in a matter of months. This was a project I undertook to learn my new camera that I got too. In the future, I will hopefully be able to film, but there's still quite a bit of work to do to get there. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section below. I will try to reply to every single one. There are also links down in the description to my social media sites. I thank you for your attention and hope to see you later.